Hi, I'm Professor Mendes and I'm a writer, a filmmaker, but most importantly, I'm an environmental educator. I teach at St. Xavier's, Odisha, Bhubaneswar. I'm a visiting faculty there for the MBA in Sustainability Management program. We are doing an environmental consciousness program, nature consciousness program at St. Xavier's Marine Technical Institute. I'm here to tell you about the environment and why you should not only be concerned but also be amazed. So first, let me ask you a question. Can you hold your breath for say 3 minutes? It's a bit hard. For more than a minute you start struggling and gasping for air. Air that is created so freely by Mother Nature. Mother Nature also gives us food and water. She does not charge us for anything. Now, why do we call her Mother Nature? It's because she provides, she nurtures us. We, in our indigenous language, I'm native to the 7 islands of Bombay, Mobai what we say, we call her Mai Mati, Mother Earth. So we say mother, our ancestors called her mother because she always provided, and we always took. But our ancestors also nurtured. They took care of Mother Nature. They never dug her up for mining. They never dug her up for minerals and gold in abundance. They took care of Mother Nature. Now, why you should be amazed? We say Mother Nature. There are mysteries on this planet, mysteries of the earth. Did you know that Leonardo Fibonacci created the Fibonacci sequence of numbers? It's an amazing cascading formula of numbers that when you start arranging them in order, you get a spiral. Now, I would also like to tell you that the phi, or the golden mean, the 1:1.6 ratio is the golden mean. That's how all of nature is organized in the golden mean ratio, in the phi ratio. It's like, you know, the divine, I mean, is the creator and the scientist for that matter, the mathematician. So Leonardo Fibonacci created a sequence of numbers. If you look it up, I mean, you'll understand that everything in nature is organized. It looks chaotic, but they're organized, mathematically even. Now let me tell you about the golden mean. The golden mean, or the phi ratio, is the 1:1.6. You notice my hand? This is 1. This is 1.6. You add 6 to this, you get this. And then you can go on and on. Our whole structure is designed in the golden mean ratio. It shows, it should tell us that, and it also tells us that Mother Nature is designed in this golden mean ratio. We are designed in this golden mean ratio. So we are connected, we are part of Mother Nature, and we are created through divine design, only through divine design. It's not by chance or by luck. So you should be amazed that if you notice certain flowers are organized in the Fibonacci sequence. You will also see the spiral in a shell. And if you heard of that verse, in the beginning was the word. What was the word? Was it the written word or the audible word? The word in sound. Well, if it was in sound, our ears are designed in a spiral, in the golden ratio, the phi ratio. Look at it. And if it was a written word, look at your fingerprint. There is a spiral in that too. Everything is so amazing that it's all mathematical, and it's so just amazing. It's so organized. One more thing I'd like to tell you, that just to set the tone, why you should be amazed that this fine balance is created over billions of years. We have come to this fine balance, the Goldilocks moment. You see, just the right temperature, just the right environment for life to thrive. Just the right distance from the sun, the Goldilocks position. Not too hot, not too cold, just right. And We come here to this fine balance. This fine balance gives us life, gives us air to breathe, water to drink, and food to eat. And everything has its own organized ecosystems. And they've been thriving for millions of years. What has happened over the past 300 odd years is that we've passed the Industrial Revolution and we've taken so much from Mother Nature, extracted so much of her minerals, her forests, we've cut down mountains for our buildings, but we've not given back, we've not nurtured, not rebuilt nature. This destructive greed of taking only for ourselves has created this climate emergency problem. This climate emergency where there are haves and there are have-nots. The haves, through their trickery and debauchery, get a lot more resources, and the poor, the have-nots, have very limited access to those resources. What are those resources? Air, food and water. The rich can have air filters in their houses. The poor has to breathe the normal air that's polluted. The rich can have filtered water. The poor has to drink regular polluted water. So this imbalance is only created by greed and selfishness. And obviously ego, putting the self beyond the whole. So like I was saying, that you should be amazed with the mysteries out there that Mother Nature teaches you. All that I have said about how we're dependent on Mother Nature. But does Mother Nature need us? What do humans create? Do we create oxygen? We create a little bit of carbon dioxide. But yes, we produce through our activities a whole ton of it. And that's shifting the balance of the Earth's atmosphere and this fine balance of life. So what do we do now as human beings? Do we continue to be disconnected with Mother Nature and continue in our day-to-day activities of only consumption and consuming and taking from her? So if humans do not produce something for the whole, why are humans put here? Why are we the final expression of Mother Nature? It's so that we can see how beautiful and how awesome she is. Every little thing, the whole, the tiniest of bacteria, to the giant tree, the whale, the mountains, the elephants, the frogs, the bugs, the roaches and the earthworms too, all have a function to play. But humans are changing this balance. And therefore, we've come to a position of a climate emergency situation. So what is climate emergency? Climate emergency is a situation that requires immediate attention to prevent further destruction. The constant floods, the droughts, the famine, the rich have more, the poor have less. All the wealth and resources are concentrated to a few, while the many suffer. And everything is connected. Everything is connected. You cut the Amazon forest, we lose our share of oxygen. We cut our mangroves, the world loses its share of oxygen. So earlier, like I was saying, that you should be amazed at how this beautiful design called creation is in divine design. It's made out of divine design. Nothing, there's no chaos here. Everything is in order. It looks chaotic to us because we do not understand or comprehend the intricacies of Mother Nature, the beautiful fine workings of Mother Nature. What do we do from here? Now, if humans do not create something for the whole, what should we do? First is we should start caring, grow empathy within us, grow love within us. How do you grow love within you or empathy? You have it in you. You just have to spend some quiet time meditating, contemplating on yourself, your inner feelings. Are you polite? Are you gentle to your fellow human beings, to your fellow creatures? Or do you just spray chemicals on a little rodent or on a cockroach that passes by? Or do you just take it and leave it outside? How do you treat the other sentient beings and your fellow human beings? So once you contemplate on that, you will understand that you need to change first from within. If you are empathetic, if you can feel what they feel, or if you can feel what the tree feels while you're hacking or while its branches are being hacked, then you're empathetic. Yes, we are the final expression of this beautiful creation. This final expression is to see, to hear, to smell, to feel, and to profess, or to preach, or to propagate. As humans, since we don't create anything for the whole, when we work towards conserving Mother Nature, we become her trustees. We are her trustees like our ancestors were once. They took care of Mother Nature. They spoke to Mother Nature. Now, if one more mystery that I'd like to share with you is, did you know that water is alive? The water in you is what makes you alive, because that water is alive. The air is alive. The air that you take in you makes you alive. How much more you should fight for these elements of nature. Now, let me tell you what is happening in India and in the world. In this climate emergency situation, governments are doing what they want. They're after this magic trinity, what we call GDP. It's totally imaginary, actually. Cannot be exactly measured if you really look at it. But we are following the Western paradigm of growth. We cannot have perpetual growth on a finite planet. We cannot have infinite growth on a finite planet. There's only one Earth. We cannot take more from her. And for what? Why do you need so much? Why can't we live simple lifestyles, frugal lifestyles? Why can't we participate in the democratic process? When there is a campaign out for the environment, why aren't you saying something? You are Mother Nature's voice. You have the gift. You've been created to speak for her. But are you speaking for her? Or are you just brainwashed by the television and the media? Are you stuck in some race that you will never win? Will unlimited money make you happy? Will the biggest house make you feel more at home? What are you seeking? What are you running after? Recently, we have this in India, the Environmental Impact Assessment Act. Basically, they're going to dilute the environmental impact assessment tool. It's a law created where before doing a project, the project managers and the government look at how sustainable it is. Will it affect the ecosystem? Will it affect the air, the water? They're going to even dilute it further. It's already in its existent state. It is pathetic, but it's going to be worse. The violators will have to submit their own violation in this new act. I mean, how silly is that? How can a thief go and confess that he's created problems on the environment? They won't. So have you participated in understanding what the current EIA draft resolutions are? Hence, when you participate in the democratic process, you make your voice heard. You contribute to the whole. You don't just sit at your home and, buying the things that you need that don't make you happy in the end. So what is the way forward? The way forward is participate, speak for the voiceless. Our plants, our sentient beings, our animals, our birds, our insects, they are the voiceless. Speak out for them. Avoid using chemicals in your home. And at the same time, start a campaign to save your environment within your own area. Speak out. You may sound like a mad person. I do. And I always have a conflict with the BMC and all, but it's fine. I speak out. I do my part. And I've managed to save a lot of trees from unnecessary trimming and many other things. We've cleaned beaches. We've worked with the indigenous of the islands. I run an NGO called Bombay's Indigenous Peoples Association. And through that, we do capacity building of the fish workers, of coastal farmers, of other tribals in the mountains. So in this manner, you can also participate, lend your time, your skill. If you may have a few more resources than the rest, lend those resources for the greater good. Looking at this climate emergency situation, Father Simon Borges and myself have come up with a book called Our Response to Climate Emergency, In Continuum Laudato Si. This book has it's the right guide. It's like a guide for the common people, to just follow and understand the issues, burning issues of the world, of the planet, and how they can do their bit. It's spelled out even more. I know in this video I cannot give you a lot more details. This book is yet to be published, meaning it is yet to be launched. And we're waiting. We have messages from the Dicastery Rome, from archbishops, bishops, and the cardinal. It will soon be out and you'll have access to this book. So the book plans to inform, motivate, and conscientize people, lay people. We have reduced scientific jargon to very simple language to make science accessible to all. This book will definitely help you on your path. And I'd like to close with saying thank you for having me. I could be reached by email and phone, and also through our website bipa.in, bipa.in. Thank you very much.
I just held my breath for 3 minutes and I realized it's much more healthy to hold your breath for 3 minutes than taking 10 seconds of the air of Bombay. Luke, I want to thank you for the wonderful session that you just presented to us. If I could put your session in just 2 or 3 words, it would mean simply give back. So beautifully you took us right from the beginning, from creation to our present situation. At the beginning, when God created the world, everything in a super balance, everything was in perfect place. And we human beings, as you said, lived in harmony with creation. We took from creation and we gave back. You said in the last 300 years, from the Industrial Revolution till now, we have forgotten the give back. We have only been hoarding, and the only thing we have been saying is, give me more, give me more. We have forgotten that we need to give back to creation. And so what has happened, you have said, is we have now been overusing the resources of the earth all over the world and in India too. We have only one earth. Right now we are using 1.7 earths, I'm told, for all that we want to live on. And so the whole balance has now gone off. The earth has reached up to the nose. We can't carry on anymore. Thank you, Lou, for helping us to realize that now is the time to give back. My dear friends, 5 years back, Pope Francis wrote this wonderful encyclical Laudato Si. It was really an eye-opener for the whole world, the Christian world and the whole world, that we need to do something for creation. Churches all over the world and archdioceses have taken it very seriously. In fact, our own archdiocese in Bombay is now called a green archdiocese, because the whole archdiocese with its parishes are now moving forward to make Laudato Si truly a way of life. Now, what is Laudato Si? Let me show it to you for those of you who haven't seen it, and let me read to you the first lines of it. Laudato Si, praise be to you, my Lord. In the words of this beautiful canticle, St. Francis of Assisi reminds us that our common home is like a sister with whom we share our life and a beautiful mother who opens her arms to embrace us. In this encyclical, Pope Francis gives us a whole understanding of creation, of what a wonderful creation God has given us, the situation right now and the critical point we have reached, and what we need to do. This was given to us 5 years back. On the 24th of May was the 5th anniversary of Pope Francis giving us Laudato Si. So from the 24th of May this year 2020 to next year 24th of May 2021, Pope Francis has declared the year of Laudato Si. What do we do in this year of Laudato Si? He's saying, let us reflect on this document. Already the church over the world has been having seminars and programs in order to help people reflect on this document. The Pope has given us a 3-point program of what we need to do. He says, 1, a spiritual conversion, 2, lifestyle conversion, and 3, a social conversion. We are in an SOS situation. So to make it easy for you to remember, I have put it into SOS. S, spiritual conversion, O, our lifestyle conversion, and S, social conversion. So spiritual conversion, let me read to you from Laudato Si itself, what the Pope says over here. The violence present in our hearts wounded by sin is also reflected in the symptoms of sickness evident in the soil, in the water, in the air, and in all forms of life. He goes on and says, never have we so hurt and mistreated our common home as we have in the last 200 years. So the Pope is telling us we need a spiritual conversion because the sin within our heart is now reflected outside. And he even goes on to say our relationship with Jesus should be shown in our relationship with the earth. We need a real spiritual conversion, because if we are not converted spiritually, whatever we do will be superficial, absolutely superficial. So spiritual conversion. The second thing he says, our lifestyle conversion. I remember when I was a young boy in this very school, St. Stanislaus, one day I was passing in front of the church, the graveyard, and the hedge over there. I remember pulling out some leaves while walking. I might have been in the primary section. And a lady came up to me and said, son, what harm has this plant done to you? What harm has this plant done to you? I was a small boy, 4th standard or less, and that struck me. What harm has this plant done to me that I'm pulling out its leaves? And that message stuck in my mind. This is a lifestyle conversion which I hope it has helped me towards, but I hope each one of us have this kind of lifestyle conversion, which we are all now very familiar with. Reduce, reuse, recycle, the 3 R's, reduce, reuse and recycle. They have a certain order. First you reduce your needs. This is the most important. Everyone wants to recycle, but nobody wants to reduce. So first you reduce our needs. What you can't reduce, you reuse. And what you can't reuse, you recycle. If all of us do this seriously, cutting down our needs, we can save the earth. Otherwise, we are told in the next 20 years or 30 years, they're going to have a real, huge problem on our hands. So, first of all, a spiritual conversion. Secondly, we're called to our lifestyle conversion. And third, social conversion. In other words, we can't do it on our own. You alone might want to live the most simple life using the minimum and reducing, reusing and recycling. But if you do it alone, it will not help. We have to work as a community because we are community with the whole world. We are community with the whole of creation. We are one communion. And so we need to network with others. We need to raise our voices so that together we can make a change. We need to join forces, signature campaigns, getting out for programs, seminars or whatever we can, because one man and one woman alone can't do enough. So Pope Francis, once again I remind you, gives us the SOS. Spiritual conversion. The sin within our hearts has to be removed, which is affecting the whole of creation. Our lifestyle conversion. Reduce, first of all, then reuse, and then recycle. And then social conversion, where we work as a community in communion with the whole of creation, raising our voices, getting out on the streets and letting people know that we care for creation. Now, in order to help you, this book we suggest everyone must read. That's what Pope Francis is saying. We must reflect on it. The Care for Creation group of our parish has found a way to help you to reflect, to read this book in the first place. And so, in a few days' time, we'll be launching a program of daily Laudato Si, where we will send you, for those of you who want, every about 4 times a week or maybe 5 times a week, one paragraph of this book. So before 24th of May, before the end of Laudato Si, you would have gone through this whole book, understanding what we are in, the situation. First of all, what a wonderful world that God has given us, how we are destroying it, but how we can do something to save it. So we will send you, or we'll announce it in church, we'll send you WhatsApp messages. Please join in daily Laudato Si. And finally, to end, we need to work together. One man awake can awaken another. The 2 awake can awaken their brother. The 3 awake can make such a fuss that they awaken the rest of us. One man awake with stars in his eyes multiplies.